Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Mystery Mystic Monday. This is where we take a closer look at the energies surrounding a disappearance of someone. And in this case, we are taking a look at the disappearance of Sandra Mai St, also known as Lexi. And she has additional aliases like Skittles and Bear. She's a 32-year-old woman, 5'9", and at the time of her disappearance, it said that she had bright red hair, or her hair was dyed bright red. And the last known time of when someone had laid eyes on her was like June 5th of 2021. And it took a couple of weeks for her loved ones to report her missing because, as many of us do, sometimes, our family just gives us our space. They think that we need a little distance, we need a little time away. But it became, very clear after a couple of weeks to family that she was in fact missing. So we're going to take a look at the energy surrounding what happened. I will say this, the police did mention that they do have a suspect in her disappearance, but that gentleman, Jose, I won't say his last name, but Jose, he is now missing. Like I don't know if he fled, I don't know what happened to him, but he's gone and the family needs answers. And as I started to explore her case, I learned that there may have been other people who might have been a part of the cover-up of what happened to Lexi. So we're going to go ahead right now and get started into part 1 of this reading. Thanks for joining me, and let's get started. All right, so let's get to it. So, Spirit, we are coming to you with regards to Sandra Mai St. Her family calls her Lexi, her loved ones. And we would like to ask you about what may have happened to Lexi, what caused her disappearance, any information that you wish to share. We will graciously receive, and we thank you. Okay, I'm going to reshuffle these because I'm only looking for so many. Sometimes I'll be intuitively called to reshuffle. But we got on the table right now Moth and Spider, and I'll zoom in just a moment so we can get a closer look. Okay, that card jumped. We got Trumpet, Antidote, Tooth. Okay, all right. So let's get to it. And I'm gonna just bring these up here and zoom in so you all can see what I'm seeing. Okay. Okay, we're gonna do that. All right, let's zoom in now. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to make sure you guys can see it clearly. Okay. All right, so we got the Moth card. Moth, when we see this card in such a reading as this, it definitely represents transition, someone making their transition, transformation. So when we're thinking about Lexi, we're thinking about someone who may have crossed over, who may have transitioned, who may have moved forward, or this could just simply mean that she's transformed from one state of being to another after this whole exchange. But I'm sensing that she has transitioned and crossed over, okay, with this card. Another key meaning to the Moth card is a clingy person or being hopelessly drawn to someone. And so it could mean that in the midst of all that was going on leading up to her transformation, her transition, she was dealing with someone or someones that was coming off like a hopelessly clingy person, hopelessly drawn to her, and it had dire consequences. Okay, that's what I'm picking up here with the Moth card. So now we're going to look at the Spider card. The Spider card deals with strong and powerful female energies. So if you were looking at the progression of this right here, the Moth, her transition, her transformation, being tied to someone, a female primarily, who was carefully designing this, who was carefully designing what transpired before, during, and after her transition, her transformation. And sometimes we could just simply say the transition or transformation is going from I'm here every day, you see me, I'm here, I'm not missing, to I'm missing, I'm not here. But this card does come up often with when someone crosses over, and it's at the hands of a woman who is, she is cunning, this one. She's strong and powerful and influential. And it could speak to Lexi's energies, but I'm sensing this is someone outside of Lexi. This is someone else, a female here, okay, that was orchestrating and conspiring, carefully designing something, okay? So now we're going to move on to the Trumpet card. The Trumpet card is about spiritual vibrations. Someone in this midst, maybe Lexi, was a highly spiritual person. This is about communication with the departed, making contact with her. She wants to make contact. She feels the need to make contact. And this is about also an awakening. Maybe being awakened to something going on here. Maybe this was her awakening. This is speaking to an awakening, an awareness of something going on over here with the Spider card. But it's also speaking to the fact that she was very spiritual. She believed in, let's say, for example, angels or the spirit realm. And so it just speaks to me that she has something to say, and she wants to make sure that her voice is carried out, that she gets to have the final say. Like, that's important for her, for Lexi. Okay? So now I'm looking at the Antidote card. The Antidote card so it's about, what I am sensing here is the hope that we're hoping to see in this situation, because I sense that there's a lot of hopelessness surrounding Lexi's disappearance. A lot of hopelessness. Hope, yes, that we keep, alive, that answers are going to be revealed. But sitting next to this Trumpet card, it's like someone is going to eventually speak up. There's going to be some information conveyed that is going to bring about a healing here, a cure. This card, the Antidote card, is known for, it's a welcome remedy to a toxic situation, a toxic problem. It's a cure. It is a balancing force against negativity. Someone needs to get something off their chest. Someone has something that's toxic inside of them that is just eating them alive, and they need to get this off their chest. So I'm sensing here that the truth is going to be revealed, and it's going to be divinely ordained here with the aid and help of spirit, the divine. Someone could be, called to convert, and in their call of conversion, of turning their life around, they could then say, I've got something to say. I've got something to get off my chest because this whole situation has been negatively impacting me. Okay, so and finally, we move on to the Tooth card, number 7. This again is speaking to this situation, a tooth, having to come clean. I almost like am picking up like maybe the police have some kind of evidence of a tooth tied to Lexi. God, please, help me here. I don't know why that popped into my spirit, but there's something going to be revealed here, or someone knows something. They know, they even have a souvenir of sorts, or there's evidence about the tooth. The tooth, the actual assigned meanings from the guidebook for this deck, it says losing something considered permanent, a difficult separation, illness. This also could be that Lexi gave up a strong fight. She, this was a strong fight for her. This is not a crossover that comes, like when we pass away in our sleep, or when we are taking when we willingly go and walk off somewhere, right? This is like, I'm fighting. This is, I know that there's something permanent on the other side of this, so I'm going to give it my all and fight for my life here. Okay. It says an illness, a difficult separation. There could be a difficult separation happening between the folks who are responsible for her disappearance. And then ultimately they need to atone for what they have done. But there's a mastermind here, a female mastermind with the Spider card. When I see this card, I always think of, my husband's like, oh no, this is the Huntsman spider, but I always think of the Black Widow when I see this. I think of the female Black Widow, and her bites can be poisonous. And when she feels threatened, when she feels like someone's getting close, she attacks. And her bite is venomous. Okay? That's what I'm sensing here. This person felt threatened by the beautiful energy and the light, and something about Lexi that really just set this one off. And she had to do something about it. All right, you all, we're going to pause here. I'm going to take a picture of this particular spread, and now we're going to move into part 2. I'm going to formulate some questions based on what I'm seeing in these cards. And then that's what's going to, be the questions that we work with in the tarot and oracle reading portion. Okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so I was called to do a post-oracle reading. I did a pre-oracle reading, and now we're just going to look and see if there's any additional guidance or messages the Spirit has to share with us. Solved evidence. We saw this card in the pre-reading I did. To 500 kilometers, November, some key movement and information. And when I did the tarot reading, the Pentacles came up, the Four of Pentacles. And the Pentacles represents the season of autumn, so could represent also the timing of years. So we're just going to see if there's any additional information that's going to help us better understand or give us insights about what's to come, okay? I'm actually recording this part of I'm going to reshuffle these. I'm actually recording this part of the video after I did the reading, after I did the tarot and oracle reading. So it's it might be like, what? What's going on? You'll notice I'm kind of referring to a tarot reading that I've already done. That's the thing about editing. I decided to make the tarot oracle reading where I ask the questions to make it its own separate video this time around. I change it up just depending on how long each of the segments are. Okay, I think I'm gonna be stopping soon. We'll see. Okay, so we got solved evidence. I'll zoom in just a moment. Someone or something is 200 to 500 kilometers away. So I'll have to check to see what that converts to in miles. Someone may have moved some evidence that far away, may have hit the open road, and maybe 200 to 500 kilometers away from where the crime scene was, where everything kicked off and happened. She could be out that away. 200 to 500 kilometers. I'll have to look at that. This, in the tarot and oracle reading, popped up. So I'm just, disclaimer there. We got burned down, or spoiler alert, I should say. Burned down, fire, arson. So I got a sense that some evidence have been burnt up. Some important vital evidence have been burnt up related to this case. So there's that. We got secrets, cover up, withholding information. So there is that. And that's what I was feeling and sensing throughout this entire reading, that there is some level of cover up, this secrets within a group. We see that here, secrets within, a group of 2 or more people. We see 3 people depicted in the image. November could be either representing one of the person's birthday months, something critical happening, like last November 2021, or something coming up in the month of November, coming up in the future. November being an important, could be a due date of some sort, a deadline of some sort. Then we've got whistleblower, coming forward, truth reveal. I was feeling that sense that there will be somebody. It could be, as I'm looking at this, evidence in November could be revealed, or a whistleblower, somebody coming forth with the truth, breaking down, can't hold on to the secret much longer, and confessing to someone. Maybe not authorities, maybe it could be a preacher or a priest or a counselor or somebody, but there's some truths are going to be revealed. What else do we have? Intimate relationships, sex, romance, or emotional ties. So someone was feeling a certain way. It could be that some of the players that are involved are in an intimate relationship. Some of the perpetrators who did this to her, did this to Lexi, is in an intimate relationship, or a desire to be in an intimate relationship with her. Or maybe there was something going on between one of the parties and Lexi. But there was some level of intimacy going on that really pissed off a particular female energy in the whole mix, okay? We've got known to victim. So this is not some stranger danger where somebody might even try to say, oh yeah, she was for sure kidnapped. She was, taken by a stranger. A serial killer came along and took her. No, she knew who did this to her. This is not like some people might even try to come out and say, oh, it had to have been that she was taken, she was trafficked. It's always the same excuse these days. When in fact, no, she knew who did this. Northwest came up again. This was in my pre-reading that I did. Let's see if there's any. We've got country, wilderness, green, and lush. So she's in an outdoor area, maybe 200 to 500 kilometers away. We got July again. July came up before. This is a very chunky deck that I shuffled from both sections because it's so big. So it's when the cards come out. When cards come out again and again, I'm like, wow. It's a little whoa. So we got Northwest popped up again, and that could be that she's Northwest 200 to 500 kilometers away, or the perps are. I'm gonna reshuffle these. I'm almost called to stop in just a moment because I don't want this part too long, but I'm just seeing if there's any loose ends of information that we need to finalize here. The spirit wants to say, okay. I feel like somebody they really drastically are trying to change their look. They may have shaved their hair, cut it short. One of the main folks involved in this, 1,000 kilometers away or plus. Hold on. Autumn came up again. Okay. So, outdoor area, mossy forest path, and outdoors, northwest, buried is what I'm sensing here. This was a toxic situation. This card jumped in the pre-reading that I did. Intoxication, drinking, drunk, alcohol-fueled fight. Just really a toxic situation. Somebody in the whole mix of things, one of the main players is trying to change their look and trying to move on with their life as if changing their look is going to change things. Somebody has moved far away, 1,000 kilometers plus, to try to get away from what happened. But I think the Northwest, since that came up in the pre-reading, I think it's more speaking to this. That speaking to maybe where LEXI'S is at, and that this could be speaking maybe to where she's at, but I'm thinking more importantly is to one of the perpetrators who may have hit the road and left. And Autumn keeps coming up throughout all of her readings, and I sense that is just because something could be coming to fruition in autumn, or that it could be that it will be, maybe 3 to 4 years from autumn that justice is finally moving and going in the right direction. It could be autumn, November, that the whistleblower, the truth teller finally comes up and says something. So it could be something along those lines. So we're going to stop here for now. Definitely check out the tarot and oracle reading that I did. I actually asked about, I want to say 7 questions during that reading about what happened to Lexi, who it may be involved, where she may be at, what's to come in the investigation, etc. And thank you for watching this one. Please get the word out that Sandra Mai St. John is missing, and there are folks who do know, but they're choosing to not reveal what happened. So we're praying hard for her over here. Okay, take good care. See you all in the next one. Bye for now.